Welcome to episode 17 of my 2022 training diaries. This week I finally started getting back to a bit more consistent running again since my stage race in the country of Georgia ended exactly 2 weeks ago. So I'll tell you all about that along with an update from Audrey on how her training has been going since we last heard from her 2 months ago. Because while I've been busy traveling, she's been here focusing on her training for UTMB at the end of August. I'll also tell you about another nutrition brand that I've been using again now that I'm finally switching away from powders and back to regular run food for the rest of my season. So Monday was a rest day for me, and I went for a much needed massage, which I'd actually booked quite a while ago. I decided to give it a full week after my race to make sure that I wasn't too sore, although in the end I probably would have benefited from getting in maybe a few days earlier, say on Wednesday. And my RMT noticed that my IT bands were particularly tight, more so than usual, along with my hamstrings, which are always an issue for me. And this is one of the benefits of working with the same RMT on a regular basis, is that they notice these kinds of things. Tuesday, I went out for about 75 minutes of easy running on the trails. Wednesday, I went out for just shy of 60 minutes again with a bit more hiking mixed in this time on some short climbs. I then took Thursday completely off to give my body a chance to kind of catch up and to recover. And then Friday, I went out for an easy 5K, just about 35 minutes on a mix of road and trails. Saturday, I was then ready for something a little bit longer, and it just happened to be the day of a local race here that passes right near my house, the Neenacker 30 miler. So it's been almost 2 weeks now since my race, and I'm actually feeling pretty good. My legs are mostly back to normal. That fatigue is gone on the climbs. So I'm ready to get back to some training here. It's a beautiful day here on the North Shore. And the Neenacker race is happening right now. And I'm just gonna head on a training run here for a couple of hours, maybe cheer on some runners if I see them on course. And then I'll head to the finish line to hang out once I'm done. I've mentioned this race a few times on my channel, and it's a staple of our local trail running community.
Thanks so much, guys.
Thanks, man. Have fun.
It starts in Horseshoe Bay and follows the entirety of the Baden-Powell Trail all the way to Deep Cove. I've actually got 2 films on my channel from years ago, one from 2013 and then from the 2014 edition of the race.
Go, go, go!
And I got to witness what has to have been one of the most exciting finishes in the history of the sport, as a runner literally dove across the finish line exactly at the 10-hour cutoff mark without even a second to spare.
Congratulations!
So I spent about 3 hours on feet, including the run back home from Deep Cove in the afternoon after the awards, covering about 21 kilometers with 800 meters of climbing. Today, on Sunday, I got out for just 45 minutes of easy running on the trails. I planned to do a little bit more, but I ended up having quite a bit of packing and work still to do here as we prepare to leave for Colorado tomorrow. So in total, I covered about 47 kilometers this week with about 1,650 meters of elevation gain plus equal descent. And this week, as I've mentioned, I've finally been able to leave the powdered drink mixes at home now that my race in Georgia is behind me. And I got some samples a while back from a company called Exact, who happened to be a Canadian company that I first came across a few years ago. They make a few products that I really enjoy, including electrolyte tablets and plant-based protein bars. But my absolute favorite is their fruit bars that come in a variety of flavors. And Audrey won a box of these last year when she won the Quebec Mega Trail, because Exact was a sponsor there. So I stole a bunch of them from her then, and they've since become one of my favorite treats for during my long runs. So as usual, I've got a coupon code for you that will get you 10% off at exactnutrition.com. And I highly recommend that you try the fruit bars. You can get a mixed box of different flavors, and be sure to let me know which one is your favorite. For me, it's a toss-up between the strawberry and the maple. So now I'm going to hand it over to Audrey for an update on what she's been up to these last 2 months.
So it's been a while now since I last gave you an update, and like Jeff said, I've been busy training for UTMB. In the past 2 months, my mileage is really ramped up. I've been enjoying working with my coach Kat, and I have to give her full credit for getting me back to doing big weeks safely. Because not only have I been doing a lot of mileage, but I've also been doing some substantial vert training, which all adds up to a lot of time on feet. For example, a typical week right now is at least 100 kilometers with 4,000 to 5,000 meters of climbing plus descent. I do most of my mileage over back-to-back long runs on the weekends and always include a tough run workout midweek. This week, I did an easy trail run on Tuesday, followed by some hill repeats on Wednesday, and another easy run on Thursday.
What's your workout today?
I'm doing 5K easy and then 5 by 3 minutes hard uphill. Back to start. And then another 5K easy after. Number 1.
Have fun.
On Saturday, I joined some friends in Squamish for a big adventure, and Sunday, I did my final long run of the week right here in the North Shore Mountains. So far, I'm feeling really good and my body is responding well to the workload. Like Jeff, I've been diligent with rest, hydration, nutrition, and regular massages. And this week, we're headed to Colorado to support some friends at Hardrock. It's gonna be my first time in Colorado, so I'm really excited to be bagging my first 14ers, hopefully, and to continue my training at altitude.
So as Audrey said, we're on our way to Colorado for our next adventure. So starting next week, I'll be hitting my training pretty hard with a big focus on vert. And I'll also be publishing a new film this week called Conquering the Vetter, which is a really fun look at the multisport race that Audrey and I did with our friend John back in May. And her and John did the solo on the Saturday, which included stand-up paddleboarding, running, and biking. And then I joined them on the Sunday for the relay, where I did the run leg. So stay tuned for that film, which I'll be publishing in the next couple of days. And next week's update will include some footage from the Hardrock 100, so be sure to subscribe if you haven't already, and give this video a like while you're at it, and I will talk to you all next week.